Welcome back to the Stanford Cardinal Dynasty, where today we start really our toughest stretch of the season. With 3 games left, we have 12th ranked USC. That'll be the game today. Our rival against Cal next week, and then finishing against currently 15th ranked Notre Dame. But we are coming off a 3-game win streak that has really helped us climb the table all the way up to 6th, though we have Cal and USC remaining, 2 of the teams above us here still in the pack. As for Notre Dame, they're in the top 5 in the Big Ten, but it's a very tight top 5. And if we are to see ourselves get into any one of these bowl game matchups, we have to win 2 of our final 3 games. And today will be a very tough one. Miller Moss, the senior quarterback for the Trojans, 31 touchdowns on the year, closing in on 3,000 passing and about 70% complete. Rushing the ball, Quinton Joyner having an alright season, a little over 3.5 yards per rush, does have 7 touchdowns. Where this team is struggling is at receiver, not stat-wise, injury-wise. They are out 2 of their top 3 receivers. Deuce Robinson, the junior, he is out their leading receiver. They are also missing Kyron Hudson, who is their 3rd receiver, over 700 yards and 7 touchdowns. They'll have to rely on Zachariah Branch to be their main guy. And then after that, we'll see a little bit of Makai Lemon, and a handful of other guys might be able to slot in. But it looks like they'll have plenty of time to get these receivers out on their routes, as they do not allow a lot of sacks. But their defense, they do get a lot of sacks. Bear Alexander, the DT, senior, 9 sacks on the season. They also have Anthony Lucas at left end with 7 sacks. We might need to focus our game to the left side of our offensive line. But one thing that is positive for us, if our defense can keep up their positive play of late, keep them in field goal range, Dennis Lynch, the senior kicker here for the Trojans, is not very accurate. 62% on the season, long of 43. And with nothing but rivalries left to finish off this season, we are underway back in Palo Alto as the kick will go to the end zone. Joshua takes the knee. We will start at the 25. Thanks to number 25. Last meeting did not go well for us. 52-7, USC leads this series by a good margin. And that doesn't mean we could start with a big splash, and we will look to Irvin, who bounces it to the outside and gets by the safety up to the 40. Gain of 15 to get us going, and then immediately changing the look, going spread empty. Getting the ball out to Haddad. The true freshman receiver looked for the bounce. Still goes for a great play there. Nice gain. And Daniels looking to step up. Ball pops out, and it looks like USC recovers. And is none other than Bear Johnson forcing that fumble. And if we're to see a win in this game, we've got to keep it clean. The Trojans take over at the 45. Plus side territory. Send the receiver in motion, actually running back in motion, chopping out the legs is the true freshman Rico Cote, leaving it just a gain of 2 as they'll look to air out the ball next, and right place, right time, Matt Rose. We get a play from the freshman, then the senior, 3rd and 8. Good blocking allows the deep shot, and Sumlin picks it off in the end zone. It's a turnover to start for both offenses. And for Moss, who's had such a clean season, he gets bested by the redshirt freshman Jalen Day Sumlin. And now we could take back over once again, starting at the 25. Big plays here to start the rivalry weekend. Irvin down the middle picks up 3. We've seen the Cardinal offense start to have a lot more success of late, but it's mostly come through just possession, time of possession, as Daniels takes an awkward hit, but there's a penalty in the backfield. And they'll end up getting Charlie Simons with the hold, so make it 2nd and 17. Going back to the spread empty look, back out to Haddad, who does not slip the defender. They'll end up just getting a gain of 2, leaving 3rd and 15, spreading wide. Safety help over the top, but not very much on the outside for Borden, and then that's where they're going. Who gets the catch? First down up to the 47. He's coming off a huge game last week against the Huskies. 2 touchdowns, both of which were long touchdowns. Now Parrish down the middle will pick up 2. Well, the rushing game a little bit slow out the gate, but picking up at least a couple. As it's 2nd and 8, still Parrish laying down the middle, which he will find, and getting just inside the 40. First down at the 37. Cardinals change up the look here. Receiver on either side, as well as some tight ends, as they will dump it off to the other true freshman. It is Buck with a gain of 3. Cardinal really did a great job last week working the underneath passing, setting up those deep balls, and it looks like another player jumps offsides. We've seen plenty of those of late as the ball goes to the feet of Buck. But Daniels gets Madden to jump offside, so 2nd and 2 with a free play. Back to the hard count, no one jumps that time, and Irvin looks to bounce it to the outside. Good block from Ayomanor down inside the red zone. It's just been finding that consistency that's got this team moving. As they've got an open target, sitting at the 10, that's Bachmeier fighting down to the 2. Cardinal doing well to march down at the goal line here. Opens up Parrish, couldn't choose a gap. He had 2 massive gaps. That should have been an easy walk-in touchdown. Instead, 2nd and goal. They got the receiver in motion. Ayomanor tries the jet sweep. Tackle for a loss. That's what happens when you try to get fancy with it. With about time for maybe 1-2 more plays left in the first quarter. Hard count from Daniels, no one jumps. They've got an open target. Ayomanor holds on to it. The Cardinals strike first here against USC, finally ending the streak of turnovers for both teams. Well, that's a strong way to end the first quarter. Offense, outside of the one play that was the turnover, they looked really, really good. Didn't really get to see much of USC's offense. They'll start us off here in the second quarter. Pass across the middle, finding a gain of 7. We'll see who they end up relying on when it comes to the receiving game. As mentioned earlier, a lot of them out. Early movement might be on the freshman DT. And indeed, that's the case. They get Howerton free first down as they stick in a shotgun look here. Delayed handoff, and half the defense meets him in the backfield. Couldn't tell you. He got there first, but Howerton was involved, so making up for that penalty. Another delayed handoff. That time works out better. They give it to Joyner. He makes it 3rd and 7. Ume gets the tackle. Now with an opportunity to get off the field yet again here. And pass across, pass for the first. A redshirt freshman at free safety, Camp Reddit, just didn't crash on it quick enough. As they go back to Joyner, he slips 1, picking up 4. USC off to a better start this time through the pick on the deep ball their first possession. And jarred free, it's Camp. We've really seen these young players on both sides of the ball for the Cardinal take a large step the second half of this season. Joyner down the middle, he slips the tackle, picking up the first down at about the 40. Still a little bit to clean up, though. I believe that was Cooper, the senior, who got slipped. 1st and 10, going back to Joyner, who finds a lane. Incoming corner, tries to slow him down, does. Sumlin cleans it up. And if pace continues, it'll be a good ending here for USC, matching that of what the Cardinal did with their turnover on the first drive. Then going touchdown the next. Read option, and Moss just gets 1. We're seeing plays from Sumlin all over the field. Deep downfield, middle of the field, in the backfield. 2nd and 9. Back to the delayed handoff, and Joyner, he's got great blocking downfield. And at the line of scrimmage, USC answers the Cardinal touchdown. Makes it 7-7. And now it's time for the Cardinal offense to get back to it. Starting at the 25 as they go Irvin down the middle. He picks up 2. Seeming like out the gate, at least, Cardinal trying to focus on the running game. Again, going to that left-hand side, avoiding some of their better defenders. As Daniel will have to get rid of this one. Good job there from USC, both in coverage and getting some pass rush. Leaves 3rd and 8. Daniels, hard count. No one jumps. Now look for a crossing route. He finds McCoy. He's gotten going big the last few games. He picks up another first here for the offense. I think the resurrection of the tight end play really is the reason we've seen Daniels also start to play a lot better. As he's under pressure, didn't see the rusher. That'll end up being a big loss of 9. Leaves 2nd and 19, one receiver either side for the Cardinal offense. As they'll look to try to air this one out, they go McCoy, who slips the tackle but can't stay in bounds. And that's where we'll hit the 2-minute warning. With a 3rd and 13. 2 go to the right-hand side, Manor to the left. Daniels, a little bit of some play action, and under pressure, it's a sack. 3rd on the game. We're not even at halftime. Well, that's exactly what we talked about pregame. We knew USC would get some rush. Good pass downfield. Ball pops out. And Morris is going to recover. Already getting some blocks. And he will slip inside of Moss. We're down to the 25. So the defense makes the better play. Gets our offense into scoring range. 1st and 10. Trying to capitalize. Out for McCoy. Good swat. Corner played that about as perfectly as you could ask. Covered both the underneath guy and the guy downfield. Now motioning over Parrish. We got a bunch to the left-hand side. Trying to make a play downfield and just having to get rid of it. USC starting to dial up those blitzes, and they are working. 3rd and 10 here as they go for a wide receiver screen to Manor. Not going to go very far. USC calls the timeout. Prior to the field goal unit headed out, it's Etienne, the true freshman. He's been on a tear of late, and he can tack on one more. Cardinal retake the lead, 10-7. It's been a good battle so far. Turnovers and defense at the forefront of this one. 1:23 as a pass downfield knocked away. Fausto Ramos. And I've got to say, he's been the surprise player, I feel like, of the season. Wright does it the opposite side. That one may be a little bit more expected. 3rd and 10. Only 5 seconds have come off the clock as they go Joyner. No one's left across the middle. He breaks a tackle. He's bouncing it to the outside. Camp in pursuit. Gets him out of bounds. Huge play there for the Trojans. As they had not moved the ball prior to, we get some pressure down the middle to Fedes. Does not get the sack, forces the throwaway. But he was definitely making his way back there. Also had pressure down the middle that forced the initial roll, and we get pressure again. Moss just doing a great job of getting that ball out in time. 3rd and 10. As they'll look to pass yet again, and not gonna get picked off of the hands of Camp, but they don't trust their kicker. It's a punt. We saw the stats earlier, about 60-some-odd% complete, 43 was as long. That gives this Cardinal offense another opportunity as the dad breaks to the outside, takes a big hit, but picks up the first in the process. That could give the Cardinal an opportunity here to go hurry up without costing them one of their 3 timeouts. Haven't used one yet. As they go back to Haddad, he's across the middle and into plus territory. First timeout called there. This could be a great chance here for the Cardinal offense to get a nice lead before halftime. Trips go to the right-hand side, one to the left. No tight ends out there, as it's just going to be a scramble. Daniels, why did he dive? He coughs it up, and it's Bear Alexander with the recovery. Why dive, slide down, Ashton Daniels? As we talked about, defense and turnovers being at the forefront of this half. That's a huge missed opportunity. Great throw from Moss to the outside. And now just as we had the opportunity, now the Trojans do. They go spread empty. They got Joyner on the right side of this line, who will get a little chip block onto Feedy. And they're down inside the 30 with about 25 seconds and counting. They have 1 timeout remaining. They're sending everyone towards the end zone. They dump it off Joyner, who will get him inside the 15. That's where they call that final timeout. So we're looking for a tackle inbounds here prior to the end zone. That should send us to half, no points being scored. As they send the receiver in motion, they're going to have 3 to that right-hand side, dumping it underneath. Camp takes him out inbounds. They're going to try to get back to the line quickly here. This will be the final play of the half. as they snap it with 1 second left. Just got to knock away the pass or get the sack. True freshman Howerton ends what was a very busy and very exciting first half. 10-7, your Cardinal hold the lead at halftime, but very evenly matched. USC being a little bit more balanced in their offensive attack. We've been a little bit more pass heavy in this one. But what the stats didn't show were turnovers. Turnovers aplenty in that first half. We'll see if either side can clean it up as we get the second half underway. USC in possession. They shake it off and get the first down. Joyner off to a really good game so far. Much better than his 4 yards or less he was averaging beforehand. They've just been getting the blocks to the second level. They might be forcing Coach Barrington to start getting a little bit more aggressive here with some blitzes to try to dial up a good press, as Rico Cote does there. First rush in a while that goes for a no gain. 2nd and 10. Sticking with a spread look here. Delayed handoff. Following the pulling guard, I believe it was. Good tackle there from Wright. USC needs to be about around the 20 for field goal range here. So 3rd and 4. They're outside of range. Tafiti with the pressure and just missing on the swat was Sumlin. Instead, Moss finds his tight end. Big gain down to the 15. They go hurry up with a pistol set. Joyner down the middle. Good tackle that time. Cooper. Sumlin there as well. We're seeing plays made across the field from both parties. 2 spread here, 2nd and 8. As they look for Joyner, maybe 45. That was one of their backup receivers having to fill in due to the injuries. They got options here. They go Joyner, who's got the first down, make it goal to go at the 3. We've seen a lot of goal line stance from this Cardinal team. Could use one here. Sumlin reads it. They went back to Joyner. He loses a yard. And I've got to say, so far, this might be Sumlin's breakout game, as they don't hand it off. Instead, they throw it away. Though there was no receiver in the area whatsoever. He was definitely in the pocket, but they do not get an intentional grounding penalty. A little interesting there, as there's the pressure. It's another fumble recovered by the Trojans. Cooper gets the sack fumble recovered by their linemen. They'll have the opportunity to tie the game here. Their kicker, though, only 60% on the season, and he pushes it left. USC no good. Cardinal remain on top 10-7. The struggles remain for the senior kicker. A huge opportunity gifted here for the Cardinal. Got to take advantage. Start with a heavier look. Irvin shaking and baking. He picks up a couple, but again, we got yellow in the backfield. And once again, we get a holding call on the true freshman center. So 1st and 17, at least he did it down the field. Daniels changes things up before snapping the ball, looking to scramble here and sliding down this time. Cardinal missed out on a great opportunity prior to half due to the dive from Daniels. He was going for the first down. Coughed the ball up, so that time good to see him actually take the yardage. As it's Buck, another freshman here, tight end, gets out of bounds with a first and a little bit of a late hit through the bench at the sideline. Maybe you could ask for a flag there, but apparently we just get him for holding or offsides. Tight coverage on the outside as it's a late throw out from Daniels, tipped away. Get it out there quicker. Bachmeier has plenty of green grass. Instead, we got a 2nd and 10. We got 3 receivers going to the right-hand side. Parrish following those receivers, getting the first down, and the ball pumps out again. No one can hold on to the ball in this game. Official stat sheet just says 5 total turnovers, but it feels like more. USC starts in plus territory RPO. They get 7. The tight defensive battle continues here in Palo Alto. 2nd and 3 for the Trojans as they go 2 spread either side. Looking to go back to Joyner and slipping the tackle of Cote. Good news for the freshman, his senior teammate there to help clean it up. 3rd and 3. As they go direct snap to Joyner, he breaks it to the outside. USC looking for their first lead, and they have it. 14-10. But I gotta be honest, I really like that play call there. Direct snap, get it to him quicker. We knew that's where they were going. Need the offense to respond. As we go, Irvin runs down the middle, not quite opening up. Might need to look a little bit more to the outside. As we will snap the ball before the time runs out in the third quarter. Irvin, he's just zigging and zagging. Gets the first down as we head to the fourth quarter. USC just took their first lead, 14-10. We still got plenty of game left. Starting the fourth quarter just inside our own 30 as A.O. Manor is going to be one-on-one with a safety, and he gets taken out. Maybe rifle that one in a little bit harder and don't loft it, and you got a big play. 2nd and 10. Daniels, he gets the DT6 to jump. So while he maybe missed the passing, he does at least give us that free 5. 2nd and 5. They will hand it off. Irvin down the middle. That time, running lane's opening up. And it's honestly the perfect time for it here in the fourth quarter. Sitting on the midfield line. It's one receiver to either side. And an RPO here, keeping it Irvin. He gets taken down for a loss of 3. 2nd and 13 then, back into our own side. As we start to spread things a little bit more here, McCoy, haven't seen him too much today. Back across the 50. That leaves us still with a 3rd and long. One spread either side, back in shotgun. As it's A.O. Manor on the curl, he gets the grab. Haven't seen as much from him today. Would like to see him finish strong. It's a spread empty look here for Daniels. As he's got Parrish's running back all the way to the outside. Look for him on the cross and squeezing it in. He does hold on to it. How was that not a catch? Now here's the thing. The whistle blew. He wasn't holding on to the ball, but while the whistle was blown, the ball was on his chest. You tell me, catch? No catch. I'm honestly unsure what even the NFL would say about that. We got a 2nd and 10 then. As we look for a crossing route, we got A.O. Manor across the middle. He takes a big hit but holds on. That'll leave us with a 3rd and 2. Back to the one receiver set here either side. As we hand it off, it's Irvin picking up the first. Not a whole lot extra there, but you don't need extra. Just got to make sure you continue moving this ball downfield. Bunch go to the right-hand side with a 1st and 10. Daniels didn't see the rush. And it's the freshman Fountain sprinting in to get that sack. 3 go to the left-hand side, 1 to the right for 2nd and 14. Daniels letting things develop. He gets a little bit of some happy feet, looks to scramble. He picks up about 6. That still leaves the Cardinal with a 3rd and 8. They're in field goal range, but you're looking more for a touchdown here with a free play. It's up for Borden with the step, and it's through his hands. It's good news for the Cardinal then, and that was a free play. That should have been a touchdown. 3rd and 3 now. Daniels tries the hard count again. How to get out of the way of Bear Alexander. He picks up the first, takes a hit. The offense just continues to move this ball, and now you got to wonder if they're going to start taking their time here inside the 15. With a stacked front, it's Irvin. About a gain of 1. That was maybe enough time for one more play before the 2-minute warning here. They're going to send A.O. Manor in motion. Try the jet sweep again, though he looks to go more for like a jet sweep counter. As the 2-minute warning arrives, it's a 3rd and 3. Now, defense looks to be stacking the line here. Daniels making a change. He obviously did not like what he saw out there. This is a down. You've got to have it. As they do hand it off, it's Irvin pushing forward. He gets the first down. Somehow, he got further than the offensive line. Down to the 1-yard line here. Parrish denied. Bear Alexander there for the USC defense. He's made a lot of big plays. We're inside a minute left here. 2nd and goal. Daniels, A.O. Manor for the lead. They ran the spacing to perfection. And a great overall drive there, manned by Ashton Daniels. Let that clock roll. Steady, easy pace. Didn't let any of the negative plays affect their offense. And for USC, that makes them start to think they've got to find a touchdown. Talked about their kicking struggles already today. They missed about a 30-something yarder earlier, but they find a strike to their tight end in one play. Big start, not quite by midfield. And of course, we know they've got to be around the 25 to attempt said field goal. And they need a field goal to tie. Cooper with a big sack. Only one timeout remains for the Trojans. We've got the number 12 team in the league on upset alert, and Ramos makes the play. 1-on-1. He's been really good this season. 3rd and 13, obviously 4-down territory. As Trojans looking to go downfield and swatting it away. At time, slot corner, Morris. 4th and game. They need 13. And downfield, tipped away, Frausto Ramos. Your Cardinal can come out to take the knee. Your Cardinal make it 4 straight wins, taking down number 12 USC and getting some big revenge on that 52-7 loss from last season. Make it 36 wins in the series. We still got a long way to go, but that was a great game. Why they're giving the player of the game to Joyner, I get it. He had a really good game, but USC didn't win. Not sure who you'd give it to on the Cardinals side. Everyone really pitched in. Default, always the QB. Well, maybe here's a good player to be the player of the game then, as Ernest Cooper is the Pac-12 Player of the Week. He had 2 sacks, 4 total tackles, 3 TFLs. And on top of that, he was also the National Defensive Player of the Week. So just a really good game in general for the senior. But if I had to throw any other names out there, as mentioned, quarterback's always a good option. Ashton Daniels, 166 passing, 2 touchdowns, 72% complete. He also did a little bit rushing, but he did have 2 fumbles. So a little bit hit or miss there. Irvin had a pretty solid game. Gonna shout him out with the 5.5 rushing. Parrish had a couple good ones mixed in there as well. Unfortunately, one of those marred with a fumble. Receiving wise, surprisingly, it was Haddad who was our leading receiver in this one. 4 grabs, 47 yards. Though A.O. Manor did have 2 touchdowns. 5 catches, 31 yards. They weren't anywhere downfield like what we expect from him. But still, the passing game was different in this one, but the team still found a way to win. But on the defensive side, obviously we saw Cooper did win Pac-12 and just overall National Player of the Week, Defensive Player of the Week, but Jalen Day-Sumlin, he had a great game. 6 total tackles, 1 for a loss and an interception, plus he had pass breakups. I mean, he was really doing everything out there. Was playing 50 yards downfield, 20 at the line of scrimmage, and in the backfield. Guy was flying around. And also, I would say maybe Dennis Lynch was our player of the game. Well, that win did move us up slightly here in the Pac-12. We jump ahead of Arizona State, so we go from 6 to 5. USC still in front of us because they have a better overall record. We've actually played 1 more conference game than they have. Cal is our next opponent. They are currently 3rd in the Pac-12. Boise State at 2nd, being ranked 9, and 2nd, Oregon, being at the top. But as we wrap out here today, let's go over what is happening in recruiting, as we do have some points to go over. Well, for Miles Farrell, we do finally crack into his top 5. We've been number 1 for a while. He's just been slow to actually say what he wants to do. And it looks like for most of these people, his hard sell is going to be Workhorse. That's, I feel like every time, this has been our go-to. Pro potential's not great. Again, hopefully after the season that will improve, but to just help us overall, we'll tack on the extra 25 for him. But we do not have the ability to add him to any visits, as this week that we are currently in is our final home game. And as mentioned about the Workhorse, same for the 5-star linebacker that, again, we are still in front of. Clemson is going after him a little bit from Georgia. If there's a way to, well, we probably won't actually be able to get this done before the offseason. But definitely week 1 of the offseason, if he doesn't declare anywhere by then, we got to make sure we get him in for a visit. We'll do the same thing as a previous guy, get that Workhorse going and tack on the 25. As for the other quarterback that we are recruiting, because we do not necessarily have our starter locked in for next year, we got Dwayne Azuma, and we are very close to cracking his top 3. Now for the 4-star center that we've talked a good bit about, Telvin Byham, we have now jumped in front of Boise State, and him and a lot of other guys are coming in week 13 for a visit. So there is a chance we might be able to start to run away here for Telvin Byam. And he's one of the few guys who is not a workhorse. He actually is hometown hero, and that's hitting really well for us. We got 2 A- and a B+. Now, one thing I've been doing is trying to add some talent to our receiving group. Unfortunately, no more 4 stars for us to go after, but I've been going after looking into a lot of these 3 stars, and I'm looking for kind of that big body guy. I want someone who could hopefully eventually replace Ayo Manor. But doing the scouting has not been good. The amount of guys here who are the physical tendency that have been bust, I think there's been at least 6 that I've found. But finally, we find a gem, Damian Priester. He's a physical archetype. He's out of, I think, MS Mississippi, perhaps? He's 6'4", 193, and he's coming in with some decent ratings here. We don't have a lot of the route running, but he does have short at 73, but release is at 78, spec catch 79, and catch and traffic 74. And he even has speed too for that size at 92. That is a really good find, and one that we will be giving a scholarship to. And now we're finding the run on him. Now we have Blousey? I don't know, you tell me that one. He's out of Florida, 6'4", 190. He's coming in with 95 speed, so a little bit faster. Hands, at least pure catching, a little bit more questionable at 71. Release 72. He's got better spec catch though, and short route running at a 75. But those are 2 pretty promising receivers. And honestly, finding those 2, I think we could even look to move on from these others. We've already signed Ed Keenan, and we're looking to bring in David Licator, who's more of the route runner. Well, I feel like that polishes off a very promising and really good week here for the Stanford Cardinal. Now we head into the big game next time. We played that in the snow last year, and I don't remember that going all too well for us. So we've got to pick up a win in one of these final 2 games. 2 more rivalries for us, and then hopefully we end up making a bowl game here season 2, so make sure you stick around, see if we do by hitting that bell icon on the bottom right or scrolling down, hitting the sub button, and definitely tap that bell icon so you're notified of when these videos go live. This series every single Monday, Wednesday, Friday, Madden 25 videos on Tuesday and Thursday, so we'll see you over there, as well as next time it is Senior Day, as we will say goodbye to a couple impactful players as they play their final big game.